Hey y'all, I'm Kasey.
And I'm MG, and this is Soul Tied.
We are two platonic soulmates sharing our thoughts and feelings on friendship, social issues, and healing in today's America.
With a focus on queer existence in the evangelical South and answering the philosophical questions that come with it.
Hey y'all, welcome to the pod.
Hi, everybody.
It's been, 3 weeks? We were having difficulties, to say
Indeed.
the least. There have been sickness and on both ends. That's for both of us.
I mean, wrong, but
Not wrong, no, but for both of us, there's been sickness. I still have a slight, congestion, just a little bit. And then there were technical difficulties last week. Totally my fuck up. I accidentally exited out of the download after we got done recording.
I don't believe
And then I
done...
went to do a 15-minute recording after that explaining my fuck up. And when I went to edit it and post it for last week, it was gone. And I'm like, what the fuck?
It's crazy.
So, yeah. So we're not exiting out of anything once we're done here.
No.
We're just gonna let it do whatever it needs to do.
No.
And I'm determined to have a podcast up this week. I am about to lose my fucking mind with these microphones. Not the ones I currently have because they work fine.
Right.
They work fine. However, I can only have 2 at a time. We need another one because we're trying to have a guest on.
Mm-hmm.
And and I did order new mics. I actually did like them. I liked the setup, and they didn't go with, I need what's called an interface, which allows multiple microphones to be going at once, so it picks up all the microphones, and it was only picking up one microphone. So those are really, really expensive. Crazy expensive, like $400 for more than 2 inputs for a microphone. So it's gonna be a little bit. It's crazy. But
hold on. Just
okay.
Okay, hi, I've come back into orbit.
Hello, welcome.
So sorry about that. Paul has learned how to climb the fabric on the buffet and get all the way on top with all of the cake stands and everything.
Oh, good.
And then he panics and just jumps all the way down onto the table and nearly hurts himself every time. Yeah. But this time he just busts through the fabric and was slapping stuff around in there. There again. Lori, please come stop my son. Sorry. Anyway, I feel like there should be some type of setup with how popular podcasts are now. You would think someone would have jumped on that and sold just a whole unit that's not super expensive for
podcasters. Yeah. I'm really confused at how it works. There's so many parts that go into it. I'm just
I have no idea.
I'm losing my fucking mind. I've talked to 2 different people who do sounds, for the DJ company I work for, and another guy that we do business with who specifically does sound and lights. But he came over to look at it today to help me figure it out, and he was like, you can just borrow what I have. I have everything you need. You can just borrow it. And I was like, okay, thank you. And he was like, I would return those mics. And I was like, damn it.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. I will hopefully have a solution. He's supposed to come over tomorrow with the things that I'm needing, and hopefully we can get that figured out. If not, then I don't know. We'll just keep doing our Zoom meetings, and we'll probably have to wait on the guests before I can buy the interface sound splitter, whatever the fuck it's called. It's expensive. Ugh, I could buy a new tattoo with that shit.
Yeah.
Which is what I wanted to spend my money on, but I'll probably have to buy one of those.
Well, don't do that. I mean, shit.
Well, I'll have to. I mean, I'll have to eventually, just with like as much shit as we've gone through with like microphones and like the recording studio, whatever the fuck they're called. We haven't had luck with those either because the one that we've been having ongoing issues with is online, and it's just like I like it, but they just have too many bugs. And then anything that is not online, I don't think is compatible with my computer. So, which we can record on Grant's computer, and that's what I'm going to be doing. It's just one thing after the other. And I don't understand why it has to be so difficult.
We could also use mine. I mean, I rarely use it, so.
No, I mean I can use Grant's. We literally don't use it for anything. So, I mean, we can use it. Yeah, so it's not a big deal, but I'll just have to download the recording or I have the recording and editing apps, whatever they're called. I don't even know what they're called. Technology is confusing. I'm limited, and I don't understand how this works. And I don't know. Tears have occurred many times.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I was like so mentally drained yesterday. Because also Monty was like all over me. And I just was like, I'm losing my fucking mind because it can't be simple. They have to make it really, really hard for people who don't do this for a living. Like if this is something like your job or a business, something you're going into, like it's stuff you need to know, but I don't understand why they don't have something that is pretty simple for the average citizen who could just like figure that shit out.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, how are you?
I'm great. I'm just vibing. Oh god. Oh, I've disappeared in space. Okay. I've had a headache for, the last like 20 years.
Yeah.
And I'm tired because the dog that I'm sitting right now, it is a requirement to take her on a walk every day. And to the normal person that would be fine, but to me with my various health situations, it is tiring. So I just got back from doing that like an hour ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm kind of worn out, but other than that, I'm fine.
Yeah.
How are you? Your emotional turmoil about the
I'm just strained.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm fine. Like, I'm fine. I'm just like, it's draining. And it's like, it shouldn't be. I was
You
annoyed.
were like freezing so much.
Are you connected to Wi-Fi?
Yeah. Just checking. It looks like you don't have super great connection. It's only saying you have like 1 bar.
That's weird. It shouldn't. See, we can't get away from these fucking issues.
We can't, and that's why we need to record in person, but then when we record in person, it's like the software is fucked up, and so it's like
It literally says I have LTE right now, not Wi-Fi connection.
fucking weird.
There it goes. Now it's back. That's so weird.
Yeah.
Like, I
Maybe
never noticed my Wi-Fi going out, and I'm like, why is it going out now that I'm
maybe it really is the government. The government's trying to keep us from speaking our truth.
Oh my god, I'm gonna be bald next time you see me.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna be pulling my hair out. Stressed. It's gonna
still-
fall out.
It'd still be beautiful, and I would still love you if you were bald. Yeah.
I have thought about shaving my head before.
Listen, I get it.
Yeah.
When my headaches are really I did, and it was a horrible mistake. Obviously, it's a time that we don't speak about. I knew I didn't have the head shape for it, and I did it anyway. I was going through a lot, but when I have like a really bad headache, my hair feels like it weighs too much. I don't know if that makes sense. It's like a common thing with like migraine sufferers, like that your hair just feels like it's like too tight or too heavy. And so when I have a really bad headache, I'm so tempted to go in there. I'm like, I got clippers. I could make this feel better right now.
Well, you know, I have a migraine at least once a month, and I've never noticed my hair being an issue.
Yeah, which that's good.
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh yeah, I remember being like little or like a teenager, little and a teenager, like getting them, and my mom would like come up and like squeeze like my hair and like pull it off of my scalp, and I'd be like, yeah, do that shit. That is perfect. Thank you so much. Maybe pull it out while you're doing it. I'll take it all away. But yeah. Not gonna shave it today. Today is one more day that my hair has survived on my head, and that's a good day.
If you shave your head again, should we just go ahead and commit you?
Probably.
Yeah, okay. Good to know.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I show up at your door with a shaved head, and I'm like, "Hello, it's so wonderful to meet you."
I'm like, hey, we're gonna go on a drive.
Yeah, we're gonna take a fun little trip. Take me to a nice one, please.
I'm
so tired.
I join you.
Yeah. You're like, do you have a double room?
Do you have bunk beds, actually?
Yeah. Or could we get like an adjoining? And they're like, this isn't a hotel. Oh, they have that one in I think Bolivar, Tennessee. That's like really big and nice. So
We're here for our grippy sock vacation.
yeah, just a brief one, a little recharge. Being treated for exhaustion, as they would say in the 1800s.
So, what was your topic you wanted to talk about?
Oh, well, I was just gonna say I started watching the like Ruby Franke documentary. Do you know what that's about?
The mom that like the Mormon mom or whatever the fuck she was.
Yeah, the Mormon
Yeah.
mom. And I'm realizing that through it I cannot trust anyone that's being interviewed because they're all Mormon. And so they all have a weird fucked up like ideology about like what's going on. Like one of the women's like big issue with Ruby was that she didn't want to throw brunches for the neighborhood. And I was like, not the child beating. It was that she was like, yeah, it's just like she never really seemed like very community oriented. Like she never wanted to throw a brunch or even like have us over for dinner. It was just very off putting to the whole neighborhood. And I was like, that's what was off putting. But yeah, it's like 100%. I didn't really realize how much of like a Stepford like Mormon cult situation also was involved, which, you know, I love to stumble upon a cult. And the Mormons are already fucking crazy without an added layer of a cult leader. So it's really interesting. I just finished the first episode and I'm like on like the second, and Jodi Hildabrant is like coming in on this episode, and I'm like, that fucking lesbian.
Yeah, I'm like, you know, there's gay shit about to come up, right?
Yeah, I was literally like, number one, and this is a problem because I know she's a horrible person, right? I know she's terrible. I know she encouraged the child abuse, but in the first few minutes of it, these men were saying shit about her, and I said, now y'all better stop because I'm agreeing with Jodi more than I'm agreeing with you. Y'all better cut it the fuck out. I don't know how Ruby's husband is not in jail. He's like the main interviewee in the situation, and they're like, you didn't know? And he's like, no.
Well, because they got a divorce or they like separated and he wasn't there, I think, for the worst of it, from my understanding.
And beating the children from
What?
she had been like beating the children from the beginning, way before she met Jodi, like horribly.
Yeah.
Yeah, like one of the sisters was like, yeah, you know, I would come in and like help him clean his blood off of the walls, and
My
you know,
God.
yeah, and I'm like, that was pre-Jodi. I'm like, let's not blame everything on this woman.
Yeah.
Let's not, oh, this poor lady got taken advantage of. Like, no, she was already evil.
Yeah.
And then she teamed up with evil, and it just got worse.
Yeah.
Like, let's not cut her any fucking breaks.
And it was crazy because she was like before they had kids, she was so family oriented, or like that's how she like presented. Like they met in college, I think, and she was like, I want to get married and have babies. And so for her to be like, I want to take on that motherly role and then torture my children, what the fuck? Like, what?
Well, I would have to say it's like religious driven, because like that's one of the biggest things in the Mormon church is that like you have to have kids and you have to like make them little gospel spreaders and everything. And that's like one of the surefire ways to be a good Mormon is to like raise a bunch of children and stuff. So it 100% makes sense that from a young age she was like, this is what my life is going to be, and like this is the trajectory that I'm going to be going on. So I get that part, and I think two things can exist of like her knowing societally within like her society that that's what was expected of her, but also just being a terrible person. So when you combine those two things, like she felt like she had to do that, like that was something that she needed to do in order to fuck, I don't know. The Mormons are confusing. To get a planet? Do they get planets? I don't know.
I don't know.
I think they get a planet. I think unless you're black, you like get married and then like your souls do something, and then like when you die you ascend, and eventually like you come back again and again until you like reach enlightenment basically, and then you get to have your own planet and like rule that planet. And like we are on a planet that someone is just happening to like rule, that like that God is ruling, like he went through that process and we're
So
just
then, so we become gods of a planet or something.
right. Unless you're black, then you have to become a Mormon first, die, and then you'll come back as a white person, and then you can start the situation. So there are not a lot of black Mormons because that's insane. They think that they're demons.
A fucking delusion
The delusion
is, and these people are in charge of so many things.
Pretty much the entire state of Utah.
Right. Which is where one of my friends moved.
Oh, yeah, terrifying.
And I'm just like, why are you moving there?
Yeah, I moved to Salt Lake City and I got into this really cool religion.
Yeah.
I stopped drinking caffeine and smoking, and you're like, hey.
Yeah, no, literally. No, she actually posted a this is funny. She posted a video of her making cinnamon rolls from scratch, and I was like, girl, are you good? Like just that, because I'm like, you don't do that. What are you doing?
Yeah, okay. See,
you're baking? What?
It's the cottagecore pipeline.
Yeah.
Like to Mormonism and like new age crazy shit. Yeah, but so this woman was already evil. The things that I was agreeing with Jodi on in her, like when she started what is a cult, basically, it's called Connections. I assume that it's been dissolved, but someone else might have taken it over after she went to jail. It was giving very small group is what it was giving, if anyone's been brought up in like the evangelical church, where she was talking about just all sorts of stuff, and she was like a licensed therapist, and one of the most popular, like well accomplished therapists in that area of Utah that like everybody went to. And then she started this thing called Connections, and she was basically like, oh, I could be a cult leader. And the thing that they were disagreeing with, and they kept playing clips to like show like how bad these like meetings were, and I was like, show me where she didn't say something true quickly. Because Ruby finally got her husband to go, and the husband like leaned over and he was like, this is like a man-hating cult. Like she's just saying bad stuff about men, and this is terrible. And I was like, yeah, everything she's fucking said is true. Y'all better show me some fucked up shit she did real fast.
You're like, where can I sign up actually?
Yeah, I'm like, now suddenly I'm about to join the Latter-day Saints and join this fucking. I'm gonna start writing her letters in prison. One of the things that she said that they like played as a clip to be like how terrible she was about men was if like your husband is telling you that he doesn't lust, he's lying. And I was like, yeah, that's true. I was like, that's also just a human thing.
Right, yeah.
Like everybody has sexual desires. I'm so confused. Like, and they were like, that's a horrible thing to say. And I was like, oh, okay. Y'all better show me some child abuse really quickly.
They don't want to admit it because they don't want to pluck out their eyes.
Yeah, well,
or cut off their hand.
Their hands. Yeah, every man in the universe would be blind. And like just so like it's literally, I mean, it's the demonization of anything sexual at all in humans. So like a lot of women and any other genders would have to pluck their eyes out as well, because we all be lusting, because it's just sexual desire. It's not inherently good or bad. It's just a thing of human life. But you know, and then this other therapist that was like training under her, he was a man. He was like, I just noticed that she really hated men and she like refused to pay me. And I was like, go on. Don't pay that man. Don't pay that man. And then once again, I can't trust anything that they're saying because they're fucking Mormons. And so like they're all misogynistic, you know, or a lot of them are. I don't think there are any progressive quote unquote Mormons. So, you know, I'm just like, I have to take everything they're saying with a grain of salt.
Well, the Mom Talk Mormons are pretty progressive with their
The who? Oh yeah. They had that like show, right?
with them swinging and and drinking coffee and whatnot.
That's crazy. Okay, so I guess there are progressive Mormons. These not so much. But yeah, another thing that he was like, she would do couples therapy and she would almost always take the woman's side. And I saw these poor couples getting split up, and I just thought, I can't be a part of this. And I was like, do you think maybe that they're splitting up because the Mormon church, you know, demands that they be submissive to their husbands? And Jodi unknowingly in the closet was like, this doesn't sit right with me. Something about this isn't right. But yeah, I'm super excited for the lesbianism to happen. And I say I'm excited. This is a horrible tragedy that happened. Like, these poor children. I hope they're getting actual non-Mormon therapy. I doubt it, but God, I hope so. But literally there's this like clip of Ruby and Jodi like hiking somewhere in Utah. And I was like, look at that lesbian back. You know, you can pretend you can never get the lesbian haircut. You can wear the clothes that you're supposed to wear, but you can't stop yourself from looking like you just got off of a horse when you walk. You can't. You can take the you can take the butch clothes off of the butch, but you can't take the butch out of the butch. She's gonna walk like that. She's gonna walk like a construction worker, and she's gonna find any moment possible. She's gonna look through her brain in the entire history of human interaction and say, would it possibly be appropriate for me to touch this other woman right now? Maybe. And so I will. Every single video of them, Jodi like has her hand just like death grip on Ruby's knee, and it's just like very like sensually like rubbing her knee. Sometimes the hand goes higher, and they're like both crying. And like literally like the first clip that they showed, I said to myself out loud in my room at night, I said, no, that's a pair of women who have fingered. That's a pair of women who know each other biblically already. I don't know what happened or when it happened, but they are already too close. You can just tell.
Yeah.
Because like sometimes you can't tell if somebody's fucked, but like sometimes you're just like, all right. Yeah. All right.
Or is it like the want to? Like you can tell they want to fuck.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I only know like some of the story. Like the like actual like affair part of the story, but like that maybe she was saying that like that Jodi was saying like the demons were bothering her, and like the only way for them to stop bothering her would be for Ruby to sleep in the bed with her.
Fuck the demons right out of her.
She'd be like, the demons, like, they're attacking me, Ruby. You have to get in the bed with me.
Please
like,
distract me.
I was like, that's what
like,
happens. That's what happens when you have to stay in the closet and you're a Mormon. Like, if she had just come out of the closet and like fucking moved to a different state, she wouldn't have started a cult. Like,
but she still would have been a shitty parent.
Oh no, I'm talking about the other one. I'm talking about Jodi. Jodi was saying that about Ruby, that she was,
and still would have been a shitty person
for sure,
making cults, probably.
Yeah, but at least it would have been more of a fun cult, you know. It would have been man-hating and fun, instead of child abusing. But yeah, literally, like the little things that she's saying. She made this phrase up, and it sounds like disillusionment, or like it starts with a D. I can't remember what it is, but it's absolutely like this phrase that would be used to gaslight. It's basically like, I can't remember what the word is, but it's basically saying like you're not in reality right now, like you're experiencing a different reality because of the way that you're acting or the way that you're feeling. And she would be like, let's figure that out, like let's get you back to where you need to be. And it would be like, you know, I'm unhappy with my parents because they're trying to make me do something I don't want to do. And she'd be like, right, and that's because you're not in reality, so let's send you to a wilderness camp and see if that helps. So she's a horrible person. You can't make people stop being lesbians. And lesbians can be bad. That's the moral of the story.
Yeah, anyone can be bad.
Is that humans can be bad. And you can't trust, like 9 times out of 10, should you trust women with children more? In my opinion, yes. But don't just go in blind faith because somebody's a woman. You got to suss them out. You got to suss people out, you know?
Yeah.
Looking back at the content, it's actually hard for me to watch this documentary because the woman annoys me so much. Ruby specifically, like watching her family content, because I think family content in general is exploitative and gross.
Yeah.
Because it's like every single outing, every single birthday, every single whatever was like monetized for gain instead of the kids just having the ability to experience their fucking life. It was always like, and camera when you blow your candles out for the millions of followers that we have.
I think her family specifically is part of what influenced states to make the laws to protect children.
Yeah.
That are in videos and content like that, where they make the money and it's legally their money. Yeah, I remember the first video I saw of hers, and I don't know if this is when like her story was coming out or if this is before anybody knew anything, but it was like right before it like blew up. It was a video of her and one of her youngest daughters, and she was like, whatever the daughter's name was, she was like, she got a tongue lashing for whatever. So she like, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean a tongue lashing? And so like, so that was like the first video I saw, and I was like, what the fuck? But I was like, I'm just gonna scroll. So I like scroll. It was like a TikTok or something. And I was like, what the fuck? And then later it came out that, hey, this person was a very bad person. And I was like, oh shit.
Which, I mean, that just means that she like screamed at the kid. But they, in this documentary, like I said,
that means she screamed at the kids?
but whatever.
No, I think she meant physically.
No,
like,
a tongue lashing means like you got like verbally, yeah, like that she screamed.
That is
like,
not
it's
how
like
I took it. I thought she
little...
literally took like a switch and hit her tongue. And I was like, damn, girl, you're just admitting that online right now?
Terrifying. No, that's just a term for like screaming or getting like a talking to.
Okay, well, I'm dumb, so.
No, you're not. You just hadn't heard that term before. But no, but the husband did give them like over 1,000 hours of like unedited footage that people had never seen. Within that footage, years before she met Jodi, there's this one, it was, and there was like no warning for it, and I was like, oh my god, sudden child abuse in my face, where she like a kid like jumps up on the table pretty much while she's trying to record, and she just fucking loses her mind, and she's like, if you interrupt me like one more time, and she grabs the kid by the face and just like pushes her off of the table. And I'm like, okay, cool. So and the husband was like, yeah, I just didn't know how bad it was. I'm like, you were filming that, so don't come to me with the shit. Don't come to me with the shit. Why are you on this fucking, I mean, I know that like to make the documentary we would need his like side of it, but I'm like, why are you here? You should be in jail as well.
Well, it's also like each individual person is like, what is the limit? Like, what is abuse to them? So to him, it probably was like normal.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Which is
Jesus.
fucking crazy to think about.
Yeah.
We have 4 minutes.
There's nothing in the world, I don't think, except for maybe one possible thing that could make me come at you, and that would be you doing that to Monty, probably. If you had lost your mind, I would be like, hey, so we're gonna fight in the yard. Hey, so we're gonna go outside.
I'll raise my voice a little bit and I'll feel bad.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if anybody else were to like even raise their voice like that at Monty, I would probably be like, hey, will throat punch you if you do that. And I'm like, so why would I do it? And then it's because I'm overwhelmed and I like react that way. And I'm like yesterday, I literally had to put him in his room because I was so overwhelmed. And I was like, I need to put you in your room and I need to like step away because I'm losing my fucking mind. Which then he proceeded to freak out and that didn't help anything. But
yeah,
like there are measures that people can take before pushing their child off of a fucking table. Like
yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, and she like held on to her face and like screamed at her, and I was like, so that's just really crazy. But yeah, so if you want to feel better about yourself as a parent, go watch that. It is on the Hulu. So you just go watch that. Because it's just insane. But yeah, I think maybe we could do like an in-depth like episode or something about like Mormonism or like that specific cult, because it's like, you know, we could say it's not a cult, but let's be real.
yeah. What if you finish this documentary and I'll finish the TikTok mom documentary? And we'll like collab on like the different like Mormon views.
Yeah, no, I love that. And also I'm like, can I just go to the Mormon church? Like, because there's one in town. And
the amount of times I've thought about just going to church for the shits and giggles to report back to the podcast.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
100%. Yeah. And like someone from my old church, their parents went to that church. And so I'm like, I'm going to walk in there and just feel like, but I don't know the rules about the Mormon church. I don't know if I think you probably have to get like, I don't know. I won't be wearing the right underwear, so I don't know.
I mean, a simple Google search would answer that for you. So I could definitely walk into a Pentecostal church, ready to go, you know, not with makeup. I would have to like let my hair grow out a little bit more probably, but yeah, okay, we'll wrap it up there.
Nice.
So we'll be back with a more in-depth take on these shitty Mormon parents. Hot take.
And one little Stepford wife Mormon cult.
And I'm not being specific about which shitty Mormon parent. They're just
just supposed to.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's what I said. Not sorry.
I said.
All right, thank y'all for listening, and hopefully we'll be back next week without interruption. So
God willing, won't he
God willing, we'll be back. All right, catch y'all on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.